which can mean one and only thing. That you have already lost interest in what is shaped up to be the most boring debate you could possibly imagine and switched over to our show. Hi, I'm Chip. Welcome to Chip Chat. We do have a guest co-host tonight. He's just late because he's doing his best Tez impression.
Shoot, Tez would have been here by now.
Yeah, Tez would have been just sliding in right now. So Patrick is on his way. If you are watching at home, you'll notice that I am joyfully dressed in my Orioles attire as we've been smoking the
defending world champions
Texas Rangers. I learned on the radio tonight that they put our logo on their ring. Did you know that? Because the Rangers basically had to win all their games to the World Series on the road, and just by total happenstance, the teams that they defeated have, like, in their logos, like, the letters that can spell road. Okay? So they got the O from the Orioles, they got the A from the Astros, they got the D from the Diamondbacks, and then they got the R from, who did they beat there? Oh, the Rays from Tampa. There you go. So, that's cute. I guess we're part of the ring. Is that how we're going to take credit for that? We're in the ring now. Okay. Speaking of in the ring, there is, like we mentioned, this fakakta debate going on CNN, which then is, after making a big deal about how they were exclusive to it, they're now simulcasting it to literally anybody who's willing to give them $20. So that's pretty funny. And the debate is not funny. It's not interesting. Trump has been looping and rambling about nonsense that doesn't make any sense, to be honest. Biden not doing great, I gotta say, but then Trump made the mistake of accusing his son of being a loser, the dead one, not the one with the cocaine and the guns and all the strippers. The hero one who died from serving in Iraq. He called Beau Biden a loser, and then Joe Biden jumped across the stage and killed him. So I guess the election's over and we're all going to be fine. No, that's not what happened. But there is a chance that the Supreme Court's going to rule that presidents have immunity. And God willing, Joe Biden has as much courage as I do. So with that in mind, Patrick is charging his flagon as he gets ready to do the show. We've got all kinds of stuff to talk about. NASA... you ready for this terrible joke? NASA is going to be in trouble.
Whoa!
Yep.
I thought Bobering.
Oh, no, she's going to show up later in the show, too. Don't worry, Brian. Calm down. Social Security gets a new job. We check in on some follow-up stories. This is a heavy follow-up episode. We didn't have time to get some of the SCOTUS decisions in that came down today. Most of those were kind of boring. I mean, they're important, but they're boring. And then we've got a Florida or 9 there. There's going to be a lot of stuff. So, we're trying. We're trying to do what we can. We're going to see if Patrick has a word. We have a paper version for you here, Patrick, if you want, so you don't have to pull it up. But he's pulling it up. Okay, well, you gotta do your word.
Okay.
He's going to jump on the mic so we can record him saying his word. Then we'll hit our break, and then we'll do the next thing. Hey, Patrick, how's it going?
What's up, family?
I don't know if anybody can see you. The camera's over there.
Oh.
Yeah, here you go.
Sorry.
Look at that. Hey!
Let's go.
All right, so, you got to have a word.
I got the first
Oh,
one.
you got your word. All right. So sit back, grab some.
Everlasting Gobstoppers.
It's debate time. You're listening to the best show, the only show, Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Got it.
Sweeps. on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm your host, Chip. With me tonight is Patrick.
What's up, family?
It seems like you were just here.
Yes, I was.
You were just here.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Last week, your friend, Dee was here with her mom, was here in the audience.
Oh, shout out.
Yeah, so chiming in. Sort of midway through the first segment when we got to the break, she was like, Mom, you're not on the radio. And I was like, but you could be again. And she was like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to shout at you from the couch.
Hey, that's what moms do.
Yeah.
Shout out you from the couch. I remember
Particularly good moms. She was funny. I'm not saying I wasn't appreciating the commentary. I was happy to have her there.
No, the Amen Corner. That's what we call it.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. So, as we mentioned, there is this weird debate going on tonight featuring two old men who are up way past their bedtime.
Septuagenarians?
One's an octogenarian.
Oh, okay.
And the other one is barely still a septuagenarian. Those are big words.
They are.
Fortunately, you're here to translate big words. So yeah, the candidates, if they were any good, of course, they'd be spitting zingers and trying to score points like in a regular debate. But given their relative ages, they might be spitting dentures and trying to score laxatives. So at any rate, you are a poet.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, I would say. You have quite a lot of credentials, and you're a wordsmith of many talents.
I think so.
I am not. So
that is not true.
Well, I can't write poetry. That is objectively the case. Well, I can write a very specific kind of poetry.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Bad poetry.
There once was a man from...
There you go.
There you go.
So we're trying to inject a little class into this thing. So we've got this poetic debate zingers, where we have a set of zingers for each candidate written in some vaguely poetic forms, which is haiku and limerick, the highest forms of poetry.
Okay.
So here we've got a set for Trump and a set for Biden. You can choose who you want to be.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, you should be Biden, because one of these Trump ones I think I have to read because I wrote it.
Gotcha.
And it won't make any sense otherwise.
Gotcha. I'm ready then. I'll be Biden.
And we have to follow the, I think yours goes front back. There you go. Got it. And we have to follow the traditional haiku performance method, where you say haiku, and then the audience says back
haiku.
There you go.
Okay.
So that everybody knows.
We don't have Mom here to yell back haiku.
That's true. We'll do it for each other, I guess. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That call and response, that is so that everybody understands that the thing you're about to do is a haiku, right?
Right.
Because otherwise it sounds like just a single sentence.
Right. It's a palate cleanser, kind of sets the mood. Everybody gets to, shh, it's beginning, So
yeah, and it often comes after something more, it's not like a string of haikus, right? People tend to read or do one haiku and then do other stuff.
Right. So it kind of sets that particular piece of art aside from the other ones, right?
I've done a long, complicated thing about bearing my soul, and then I yell haiku, and everybody yells haiku.
Right.
And then I make a stupid joke about pickles or whatever. And then, okay. I get it.
We're there. We're here.
I've been studying. Okay. So this first one for you, it's definitely, it's not a haiku, but you can go ahead and you can figure out what cadence it goes in.
Okay.
It's a limerick.
Okay. All right. Limerick.
Limerick.
Trump is a felon at large. Most of his friends have also been charged. He cheats his associates and squanders the most of it. His only friend left is old Marge.
Ha!
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes,
yeah, got a shout out. Way to go, Marge.
Yes. Woo.
Haiku. Biden is so old. Bet he can't stare at the sun. I already did.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Nice. Good one. Haiku. He lies all the time. Porn star hush money convict with his mushroom dick.
Damn. I feel like if he had actually said that tonight,
he would have got away with it.
That's it. We would have
won.
It would have been over.
That's a mic dropper.
Yeah. Okay. I'm supposed to do a poem. Any of you know poems? He knows poems. Mike Lindell, he knows poems. You know limericks, right? There once was a man from New York, that crime-ridden shithole. I left New York. Not many people know that. Very, very difficult. There once was a man from New York. He wanted to build a wall. I built the wall. But we need more wall, right, folks? Wall good. Biden doesn't like wall. Maybe because he can't climb them. I climb walls all the time. It's very easy. I even taught some Mexicans how. They came up to me, big Mexicans, strong Mexicans. They came up to me with tears in their eyes. They said, sir, we want to climb that big, beautiful wall. That big, beautiful wall of yours. I said, but you can't. Maybe I can show you. You wanted me to show you. So I showed him. I showed those rapists how to climb. Some, I guess, were good people.
Oh.
Anyway, there once was a man from New York who wanted to build a great wall. He did. The end.
Nice. Oh, wait. Haiku. Will you shut up, man? I can't believe it's so close. This guy is a clown.
There you go. I think he actually did say that.
Haiku.
Haiku.
Kamala hates you.
Yes.
Said you make ladies dry up. What's with the hair, Jack?
Yeah. I really think this would be a better episode.
I love this. This would be better.
Yeah.
Haiku. Migrant Fighting League. He actually said this. Melania fights.
Yeah. I got one. Haiku. Crooked Joe Biden. Son Hunter loves guns and blow. Sounds kind of like fun.
It does.
He would like it.
Actually,
Haiku. Oh, wait. No, this one's a limerick. I don't know the difference.
Limerick.
College students got money from Biden. From loan officers, they won't be hiding. Giving money to co-eds, like Matt Gaetz' Venmo says, is just for the drugs they're buying.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh.
Got a Matt Gaetz joke in there. He likes them early.
Oh, my God.
You know, before they mature.
Okay. Let me try one.
Yeah, you got one?
I got another one.
Okay.
All right. Trump has got a lot of nerve bringing up Netanyahu when he's the one who's sucking on him harder than a Nosferatu.
Oh, damn. That's a vampire joke. Shit. Biden is so old. Did I say that one before? I can't remember. Haiku. That was it. That was the haiku. Yeah. I thought it was a good coda to the, like.
Well, I got one more.
Yeah, you got one more.
All right. If the end of democracy scares you, do what the nerds and the geeks and the squares do. Vote for your voice and freedom of choice. And stop the guy with the bad hairdo.
Bam!
Pow! Mic drop.
Hope that works. All right, good. We saved democracy. Time for a break. That was exhausting. Am I right? I write bad poetry.
Hey, look, you. It was entertaining, though.
It was entertaining.
It's
not a deep art form limerick. I mean, it can be, I suppose.
Look, this we always say anybody can write a poem.
Yeah,
a haiku. You know what I mean? The challenge is to make it good or entertaining or funny or whatever you're trying to do. Right?
I think haiku is the hardest, most difficult form of poetry
because you're limited.
Because you're so limited. You know, even other things where you're limited by the meter of it or whatever, you have a lot of room to make it up, right? You can as many stanzas as you need to get it right.
Right. Trump could never write a good haiku.
No, he can't.
There's too many ums and ahs and extra. He's full of syllables.
Well, and that's why he struggled so much with Twitter. He had to make fake Twitter. 140 characters. What's that? You know, I don't even know what a character. You know, he just can't handle it. It's too complicated. He is a character. He's the worst. There he is on screen, looking sad that moderators are asking questions, and he doesn't know what those words mean.
I love the faces.
Yeah. There was.
Oh, he did the kiss one.
He always makes. Yeah. Then he said something stupid, and Biden looked over his glasses that he's not wearing at him. You know that like where you kind of lean forward and you're like, are you fucking what? Yeah. So all right, do you want to just go right into the rundown, or do you want to take a break?
Let's do the rundown.
All right, let's do the rundown. All right, the rundown. This is where we tell you about some stuff that's going on in the news.
Oh yeah.
If we were real newsmen, it would, of course, sound something like this.
What the fuck was that?
Ah! No, Brian. We can never get this sound
Radio
effect
and
right.
Beyond in Washington, D.C. I'm J. Scott Smith, and this is the part of the hour where I tell you some stuff that's going on in the news.
There you go. Thanks, Jay. Shout out to your Pistons and their terrible draft choices. Not that we did any better.
Oh, man.
No, we did. I think we did, but that's another discussion
can
for another
talk about
day
that
on
later.
another show. Hey,
But the bullets are still bad. It doesn't. We can't draft our way out of this problem. Okay. Yeah. We're so bad we have to use an old name. We're in the NBA Witness Protection Program, hiding out as our original name, the Akron Zephyrs,
Oh my God! Hey,
which is true. Okay.
that is true. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Whoa, hot mic, Brian. What happened? I'm too loud. Okay, so Social Security, you know about Social Security?
Mhm.
There's basically two kinds of people who can draw Social Security. There's old people who have retired and they're not working anymore, so they can have Social Security. And then there's people who are disabled. And if you are disabled and can't work anymore, you have to go to the Social Security Administration and effectively prove to them that you are so disabled that you can't work.
Got to limp your way in, and kind of.
Almost always you have to have a lawyer or you're going to get denied.
Okay.
And one of the ways that they deny you is they have this list of jobs that you could be doing even though you're disabled. They're like supposed to be doable, but for people who can't walk.
Right. So it's basically letting you know, hey, look, you could be doing this.
You could be doing this, and you're not trying hard enough.
You're not trying.
So we're not giving you your benefits.
That is the conservative mantra. You're not
That
trying
is,
hard enough.
yeah, that's right. You're not pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. So I don't
Where
have
are
any
your boots-
feet. Yeah, but there's a list of jobs you can do without feet. So this list of jobs, the last time it was updated was like 1977 or something like that. So it contains a lot of jobs. There's 12,000 entries, and it hasn't been updated since then. And they haven't taken off any of these jobs.
It's still there.
They're all still there, even if the job is utterly and completely obsolete or doesn't exist anymore. So, Martin O'Malley, former Maryland governor Martin O'Malley, who is now currently serving as the commissioner, I guess he is, whatever, the head guy, commissioner of the Social Security Administration, has decided to finally get rid of a bunch of these jobs that don't exist anymore. So,
And it's about time.
it's about time. It's a long list of jobs that are getting nixed. What we have here on our list are 2 pages worth of these jobs. So let's just pick out a few, 'cause some of these are really funny.
I love some of these. Like this one, I would actually take, and it's cuff folder.
Yeah, what is a cuff folder?
Oh, cuff? Are you kidding me? Oh man, in high school, like that was the style. You used to take your pants, and after you're ironing,
Then you
flip
up
the bottom, right?
yeah.
And flip it. And
I'm
then
not
iron
sure
it again.
that's what it does.
I don't. It's probably not.
What's
but
funny is that it tells you like the type of industry that it is, and then it also tells you how many people have that job. That's what that
number
third
is.
column is. Yeah.
Ah.
And remember, this is in 1977. So some of these things, it turns out there's now a lot more people with those jobs, and like microchip assembly guy or whatever, and then some of them are completely gone.
Like VCR repair.
Yeah, VCR
troubleshooter.
repair guy. That's definitely pinking machine operator. That's we have robots that do that now. There's a stop attacher. That's the person who puts the thing on the bottom of your zipper.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a job.
that's a valuable job, though.
Yeah, but a machine does it now. You're not trying hard enough to get this job.
I could do it better than a machine, though. I promise.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
no,
think-
that's
I have
definitely
I have
why
an
they
eye
have
for detail.
machines that do it now.
How about Milkman?
Yeah, that's I didn't. Well,
Yeah.
it's probably on the list.
I'm sure it is. Milk. Yeah, because the person used to show up in the old TV shows and deliver.
Yeah, no,
milk.
we know. Yeah, but if you're
Right.
disabled, that's hard to do. So
Okay.
most of these jobs are supposed to be things that you can do basically seated. That's like a thing.
okay,
So
okay.
one of them that I couldn't figure out is what a golf ball trimmer is. I'm hoping that this is somebody who trims the cord after it's been wound around to make the core of the golf ball before it gets dipped.
All right. Otherwise, you got some hairy golf balls. out
That's
there,
the
right?
thing I
That's-
was worried about is that maybe golf balls come out of the machine fuzzy and there's somebody who has to shave them. I'm a little worried about it. I don't know anything
Kind of
about golf
polisher.
balls.
Golf ball
Yeah,
polisher.
golf ball polisher. I know quite a few people who have that job.
Yo.
Yeah, sorry. There's like assembler, hot stone setter. I'm not sure what that is, but
Okay.
it sounds dangerous.
Okay.
Umbrella tipper. That's the person who puts the tip on your umbrella.
Oh, Okay, I was.
You thought it was something.
I was picturing like Mr.
dancing?
No, I was picturing Mr. Peanut, the guy with the.
Oh yeah,
you know,
he's twirling the
swinging
umbrella.
his
Yeah,
kinda,
but it's got a
you know,
tip on it. Somebody had to put that on there.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it.
a lens inserter. That sounds like a pretty good job.
Okay.
A hander in, and then there's another one that kind of goes
Hander
along
in.
with that. That's the puller through.
Hand her in and pull her through.
Yes.
Now
Now the puller through works in glove and mittens, and there's only 6 of them. But I think that means that when you're sewing gloves or mittens, they're sewed together inside out, right, so that the seam stays on the inside.
Yeah.
And somebody has to go reach into the glove and pull it through
pull
the right way
through.
side out.
Pull,
yeah.
I love the names. The puller
Yeah,
through.
the puller through.
The puller through.
I don't know what a napper tender is, but it sounds...
Nap pretender. Growing up, I knew my way around some naps. I was pretty nappy, so
There you go.
maybe that's what it is. I have no idea.
Maybe it's if people who work at the daycare, it's like flip the kids while they're napping, so they don't
yeah,
get
there you go. Nap pretender.
cooked too much on one side.
I love that. I love that. See that?
A little spatula. There's a vamp strap ironer. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds hilarious.
It sounds sexy, actually.
Yeah.
The vamp strap. Strap.
There's a waxer.
Waxer.
That goes along with
We know
the
what
golf
that
ball
is.
trimmer. Yeah. There's a mounter, a hand mounter. That's in photo finishing. That's the people who glue like photos together when they were in a photo shop producing fake images.
Okay.
Yeah, totally a reasonable job you might have now. You're just not trying hard enough. Also on this list were things like pneumatic tube operator.
Oh, okay.
Remember when you go to the bank and you'd put the thing in the little tube and boom. Right. So like large buildings, office buildings used to have systems of those tubes so that you could send messages to people. And so that you would scrawl your little message on the thing, put it in your tube, drop it in your thing, and it would away from your desk, and it would land where somebody would catch it or get it, and they would see who it was addressed to, and then they would put it back in the proper tube, and it would go up to the other person's desk.
That's very important.
Yeah. Currently now, I bet you'd have to email that person to let them know that there's a tube coming.
Because they're not there.
Because you don't need that shit anymore. We have fucking email.
It's interesting that like all of these back in the day, right?
Yeah.
The greatest generation, the boomers and all them, they used to always romanticize these jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, these jobs are holding the country together. Do your part. You know what I mean? And I always imagined that no matter how small your job was, it was so important.
It was so important.
It was so important. Like the cartoon, the Bugs Bunny cartoon where he was testing the missiles. And it was,
And
it was
just
ping,
and dud.
ping.
Yeah, ping, dud. Yeah.
Right, that was his job.
Right.
But he was
He's
supporting
part of the effort.
Part of the effort.
I wonder if, imagine if you had to wait minutes. Even minutes, right? Because already that pneumatic tube thing is fast.
Right.
But if you had to wait minutes for a message from me to you or from you to me instead of seconds, you ever send an email from yourself to yourself because like you're moving things from one inbox to another or whatever?
Yeah.
Or from your phone to and
trying to
you
clear some room or whatever.
Yeah, and you send it to your thing and it doesn't instantly show up in your inbox and you hit refresh like 3 or 4 times and you're so goddamn impatient. You're like, well, I just already sent this, internet. Imagine if you had to wait for it to come all the way down to the lady in the basement to put it back in another tube and it back up to the next person. Be waiting there for whole minutes.
Oh my God.
You'd be so mad.
Yo, pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed.
So that's why those people don't have that job anymore.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Disgusting.
All right. So now that we've solved everybody's labor crisis, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a little break while we recharge our flagons and check in on the old guys. Oh, no, they're still awake. Okay, well, I was a little worried.
Yeah?
It is closing in on 10 o'clock, so that Geritol is going strong.
Somebody's going to turn into a pumpkin quickly.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing,
Well,
right?
there is. There is.
There is, the dangerous pumpkin.
There's the orange pumpkin right
there.
there.
That's what we call him in my family, dangerous pumpkin. Actually, for a long time, my kids didn't know that there was a guy called Donald Trump. They just knew that there was Dangerous Pumpkin.
He's kind of giving Jack-o'-lantern right there.
Yeah, he looks like a dangerous pumpkin.
That frown.
Yeah. Oh, right. Frown. The perma frown. Yeah. It's either the perma frown, the kiss face, or the smirk. He's only got 3 faces.
Oh, he's getting them all today.
Yeah, he's doing all of them. All right, we're going to take a break and check in on them We'll be right back. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Ow!
Sweeps.
What I'm feeling like. Shit is real in life. Got me feeling trite. Oh man, this ain't the life that my parents wanted for me. Living trife, city sheriffs coming for me. 0 to 100 just went down in the parking lot. Bitch niggas starting shit and I don't like to talk a lot. Forgive me, mommy, I done did it again. Pop Duke on a visit as I sit in a pen. None of this shit is pretend. I've been living in sin. Just got out, no doubt, I'm still getting it in. Ha! Dreaming of heaven, awaking to hell, jerking off, waiting for mail, day to day in a cell. I don't wanna go back, but ain't no sucker nigga playing me. Little hard-headed, better watch what you say to me. It's too late, I got nothing to lose, something to prove. Yeah, I'm here to fuck up the groove. They jump me and yeah, they cut me, they ain't never back me down though. Little John's your problem, you can bet the whole town know. Hit him in the gut, took his breath, it happened fast, son. Breath he took was deep, almost sounded like his last one. Everybody yelling, I'm hearing somebody grab him. White girl screaming, you ain't really have to stab him. Fuck it, I got my knife and I'm gripping it tight. Hop in the car with my niggas and we dip through the night. Huh, knife out the window, lucky I ain't had a gat on me. No, I'm on probation, I'm hoping that he don't rat on me. And if he don't, he'll be seeking revenge. I'd rather that, holding court on the street with my friends. Young, dumb, full of rage, plus the drinking and smoking. Come and try me, motherfucker, if you thinking I'm joking. I just left a nigga leaking like a sink when it's broken. Thinking how I might have killed him, I'm just wishing and hoping. I ain't hit a lung or something, God forbid I hit the artery. Crab should've known I keep the blade like it's a part of me. Streets are getting hard for me, somebody talk to God for me. I don't think he listen when spitting, I give my heart to see. But he ain't looking out and finding it that maybe I'm the one at fault, playing blind to the fact. I don't know, I'm still young and I'm finding my way. It's hard to see the God of me is what I find when I pray. Little nigga, big heart, small city, lots of bullshit. They listen when I spit like a preacher at the pulpit. Now I could use this here for more than just some street shit. Ain't too late to make a difference, yeah, on some deep shit. I ain't blessed till I could bless all of those I'm peeps with. Wish them all the best, yeah, even to those I beefed with.
All right, welcome back to Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Patrick. Say hi to the people, Patrick.
What's up, everybody? How's it
So, we were just...
I want you to guess this artist that I just played.
Oh, yeah, who was that, Brian? Sorry.
I figured you would know his voice.
I wasn't listening
paying
well
attention,
enough.
right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were focused on the old guy's health. I can
We were
understand.
kibitzing
Who
there.
was it?
Yeah, but anyway, it's a former guest.
It's a former guest. Was it Early Bird?
Nope.
No, we already played him.
Yeah.
Let's see, former guest who makes that kind of music, who's been on our show.
And he probably has a nice little daughter probably singing in the background.
Is it Stan?
No.
No. Who has a daughter singing in the background? Oh, Manuel.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah.
Nice. Out of Connecticut.
Okay.
He's a proudly Connecticut rapper.
Okay. All right. And his stage name is
Manuel.
Manuel. Okay.
Yeah, he's ill, but his
Oh, Manuel.
Yes, Manuel.
Got you, dope.
Yeah, he's very cool. Also, he makes great T-shirts. You should definitely go get them. And we had him on the show, and then his daughter jumped on and stole the mic and rapped for us, which is amazing.
That's what daughters are supposed to do.
It was one of the best moments in our radio history. Is that a new one?
I believe so. It's from his album Bandana Manny, which came out sometime this year, I believe.
Okay.
So I'm just fully trying to figure out, sure, but
All right, well,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
We got to get him back. He's a cool dude. All right, so we promised you that this episode is going to have a lot of follow-ups. This one is called International Follow-Ups.
Okay.
Now, we went back and found the clip from back all the way in November of last year, November 3rd of last year, that show, where Tez and I were talking about, Israel had just been attacked by the terrorist Hamas group, and they were going to war. And we were talking about how the ultra-Orthodox, the Haredi guys, they don't fight. They don't fight because they have a blanket exemption. And what we were sort of getting at was this idea that somehow they got this idea, I don't know if it's unique to Israel, but anyway, that prayer is as useful as tanks, which is not, that's not the case in wars. I promise you that. I don't care how prayerful or faithful a person you are, I can promise you that tanks are more effective than prayer. As we've seen, thoughts and prayers is totally ineffective against guns.
Oh my God! Yeah, I mean,
in these United States, so just want to reiterate that.
In a practical sense, yes, you are correct. Yes,
we have not been able to stop guns with thoughts and prayers, so it seems unreasonable to choose that as a method of waging war.
Okay.
So the sort of point that we were making is like even to our earliest ancestors, imagine if we had been attacked by like a saber-toothed tiger. And the response was, Brian and I will go fight the tiger. Pat, you go in the corner and pray to that thing you drew on the wall that you believe in.
Right, to come down.
Yeah, and then when we defeat the tiger, we're going to credit you for praying at the picture instead of us stabbing it with the sharp sticks.
Gotcha.
Right. So that's ludicrous, totally insane. And it turns out the Israeli Supreme Court agrees with me and all of us. Okay. They struck down the blanket exemption of the ultra-Orthodox that they've enjoyed since 1948. And the way this kind of went down was they have a law that they have to sort of reauthorize through the parliament every so often to exempt ultra-Orthodox men from the draft.
Okay.
Because everybody in Israel is drafted. That's how that works. Everybody has to serve. The men serve 3 years, the women serve 2 years, and you go do your time in the army right out of high school, and then you get to go to college. That's just how it works. Okay. Everybody does it, except for these guys, who make up something like 12% of the population. They're also the ones who provoke all the wars by going and settling on other people's yards. So, they provoke the wars. They don't fight in the wars. They get government subsidies to stay home and study Torah. They mostly don't work. They're non-productive to the economy. They have this whole, separate society that they get to live in.
Are they, question, you may not know this, are they the warmongers? Are they really the
yeah, they're a big part of that because they tend to, all of the Netanyahu right-wing coalitions have depended very heavily on the ultra-Orthodox parties joining his coalition. So they are very much a part of the Israeli right-wing settler, war footing sort of guys.
Gotcha.
But they don't fight in the wars.
Gotcha.
And it's kind of hard for Americans to really understand this because, we're so concerned about left and right and the way that we kind of look at that. But in Israel, because everybody serves, everybody is sort of able to fight if you have to, right? They're real tough. You don't meet any pacifist Israelis. They're all ready to fight if they have to. But they're all very reluctant to do so because they all had done it, except for these guys. They're ready to fight all the time, except when they get asked to. And then they go, no, I have to go study. So they'll settle on other people's lands. Then when those people get mad and go, hey, man, get out of here, they call the army to protect them. Okay. So they don't serve. They're a bunch of babies. And the Knesset, the parliament, did not reauthorize their blanket exemption because it's basically unpopular, and they're tied up in the middle of a freaking war.
Okay.
We need soldiers, says the Knesset. These guys are trying to get out of the draft. They got to come fight. Okay. So they didn't like that, and they went to court, and the Israeli Supreme Court was like, oh, no, y'all got to fight. You don't have no exemption anymore. And that's... All right, so that's bad for them.
It's definitely bad for them. I'm not confused, but I'm interested to find out because over here it's the idea of separation of church and state, right?
Yeah, not
supposedly
there. Not there,
right? But not there.
No, it's a Jewish state,
right?
It's also a democracy. Those two things often run into each other.
Okay, yeah, right. And the yeshiva.
Yep.
Yeah, they claim that they are the spiritual backbone of the nation.
So yeshiva is the schools, and that's where they go and study. And so the theory is by them studying, they're helping the soldiers somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Study making bullets. Okay, cool. Like if they don't want to fight, but they want to like build tanks, more reasonable exemption.
Let me throw this out, just as I guess devil's advocate.
Sure.
Okay. Because it takes different aspects of a country to win a war.
Sure.
Right? If there's any such thing. So you have the soldiers.
Yeah.
You have the negotiators. You have the politicians, whatever. And then I think there's a spiritual aspect as well that would apply or inspire people.
Sure. Yeah. Like the guys singing the patriotic songs or doing the USO tours or whatever like that.
Right.
Lifting the spirits of the people who are fighting.
Exactly. So I believe that's what they are.
No.
No.
That's not what they do.
That's right.
They're
That's right,
totally
everybody.
separate from the rest of society. They live amongst themselves. They don't talk to the rest of the Israeli public. They mostly deride the sort of less observant secular Jews in Israel as not being Jewish enough. They're not putting in the effort or whatever, and then they also don't work. Like it's not like they're really pious, but also plumbers or something. Like the Amish, right? Everybody's like, oh, well, the Amish, they're so pious. They work.
They work their asses.
They work. If you can't make an excuse that the Amish aren't driving part of the Pennsylvania economy. They are very definitely an economic
until you've eaten the Amish cheese log, you don't know, you haven't lived.
Right down the street. The Amish market in Laurel is like the shit. Get there early or all that chocolate covered bacon is gone. You need to be there. As a Jewish kid, let me tell you, that chocolate covered bacon is dynamite. You got to get there early.
Nice.
Trust the Amish. But yeah, so like the court struck it down, and now they got to go fight. But this is also bad for Bibi because his coalition depends on these guys staying, out of the war. He promises them every time, hey, if you join my coalition, I'll make sure that you get your exemption. You don't have to go fight. And now we can't do that. And so they might pull out of the government, which will cause the government to collapse, which will be really bad if you're in the middle of two wars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tough road to hoe. As they say in Israel, there's a saying that there's an Orthodox mother and there's a fearful mother. Because the Orthodox moms, they never have to worry. Their sons are not going to get killed in battle.
They sleep well.
Yes, that is the theory. Okay, moving on from one terrible tragedy to another.
Oh, my goodness.
Damn! Dateline, Port-au-Prince. Oh, no, this one's Dateline Nairobi. Well, it's related. Okay, so as you may know, Haiti, which is our neighbor, right off the coast, has given us many great things like food and Wyclef and the defeat of the French, the first Black Republic, various things.
Right.
Pretty good history in Haiti for like 2 to 3 good years. After that, several hundred bad years.
Oh, yeah, the French. Oh, those French.
French colonialism always works out well. As a matter of fact, all colonialism always pays off great.
It really does.
Ask Vietnam. So, anyway, Haiti's in chaos, right? They've gone through their president was assassinated, maybe by the prime minister.
That's right.
Then that guy couldn't get back into the country. There's gang warfare everywhere. There's a guy in charge of one of the gangs called Barbecue. All of that's true.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Barbecue.
Who wears flip-flops.
Oh,
while he's gang leading.
Hey.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about running.
That's right. He's got somebody who polishes his flip-flops while he gives press conferences.
Nice. Hey.
While he's wearing them. Because that's how you do things in Haiti, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a violent place. It's a terrible tragedy. These people have suffered anything you could imagine. From natural disasters, earthquakes and hurricanes, landslides, to human disasters of violence and chaos, all of which seems to be perpetually egged on by the rest of the world, either ignoring it wholesale or dumping gas on the fire.
Oh yeah. It's backlash for
defeating the French. Yeah, and we've been at it now for 200 years.
And the wild part for me is that they owe the French like a shitload of money.
Well, they finally got that sorted out. But yeah,
they did. Okay, they did because I for what I remember, it was like, okay, you owe us because of you took our slaves.
Yeah, part of the deal of ending the war after they had already defeated the French, in order to get their treaty to be left alone by the French, was they had to basically pay them out for all of their lost quote-unquote property.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
which is the people who just won the war. And so they spent 100 years trying to pay this off, and of course no economic activity because all of their money was going back to France.
Right.
Never mind that. Everything's going to be fine now because the Kenyans are on their way.
Let's go.
So you may remember that several months ago there was this sort of world idea of like, let's try to save Haiti and get it out of trouble. We're going to force the prime minister who killed all the people, maybe allegedly, to resign. We're going to put a temporary council in place. Nobody knows how that's going to work, and we're just going to nominate the people, pick the people. Who cares if the Haitians want those people?
Right.
Nobody asked Barbecue whether he wanted to be involved or not.
Good old Barbecue.
And also, I know we're kind of making fun of it and saying, like, gang warfare. They're not really gangs. It's really more reasonable to think of them as political factions with armies.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? So, anyway, after several bad attempts by the Americans and other, let's call them Western white powers, to try to help Haiti over the years, which help is in heavy air quotes there, there was this idea of like, well, why don't we send black folks to help them? Okay. Because when they had sent people from Nepal and whatever the UN mission, they gave them all cholera, for example, which is true. The Blue Helmet guys showed up to help them after the earthquake and caused a cholera epidemic. Yeah. And a bunch of, like, chlamydia and shit, too.
Oh, shit.
Really bad. So they're like, all right, Kenya, you want to help out? Kenya's like, we're from Africa. Don't you people have any idea? And the Americans are like, look, it's all the same to
you all
us.
look the same to us. Just get
they
over
were
there.
African one time, too. You'll be fine. Sure, you all speak the same language.
Yes.
Absolutely no regard for any of that. But Kenya was like, I guess we'll handle it, right? Kenya's like, we're going to send some of our cops over there. You should know that this week in Kenya, there are protests and riots in the streets of Nairobi over various other things like inflation and government corruption, which the police are not doing a great job of handling. Probably because 1,000 of them are on their way to Haiti right now.
Damn.
This got horribly delayed by a bunch of corruption and economic strife in Kenya.
Right.
But this week, the president of Kenya sent them off on their mission there, and he gave them folded up a flag and gave it to them, and he said that you're going out there. He said the mission is the most urgent, important, and historic in the history of global solidarity. It is a mission to affirm the universal values of the community of nations, a mission to take a stand for humanity. All sounds pretty good. They're on their way. There's 1,000 of them. Barbecue has at his command a couple thousand.
Okay.
But, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Right. And the four, they kind of spoke out, with their misgivings, but they're allowed. They're allowed to do that.
And some of the gang leaders are sort of like maybe willing to play ball with this. It's not really clear like what's happening. There's no real governance, right? The council isn't actually operating in any kind of form of governance. It's very difficult to get information out of Haiti because there's kind of a lack of communication. Not that it's necessarily imposed, but that it's chaos. There's no electricity. You can't really get power. You can't get cell phones. You can't really get anything.
You should slide over to the DR.
Yeah, well, that's a big problem. The DR has this very heavily militarized border.
They're not fucking with Haiti. I know that.
Because they're kicking out the darker colored DR folks for fear that they might actually be Haitians.
Racism.
Yeah. You look a little too dark to be Dominican.
Right.
And he's like, I'm David Ortiz, you idiots. So, don't worry, the Kenyans aren't going alone. Thank you. They've got friends. Who's coming along with them?
Jamaica, Bahamas, Barbados, Chad. I love Chad. That's my dude.
Yeah, you know that guy?
Yeah. And Bangladesh.
Yeah. I don't know how the Bengalis got in there, but
they got enough of them.
Yeah,
they got bodies. They got bodies to spare.
That's true. Yeah, that's horrible that we're thinking of UN missions like that, but sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Jamaica, known for their really law and order kind of lifestyle. Hey, man, cool it for a while. You know, like, they're going to cure the country's violence with, like, you know, patties and a blunt.
They might, they might know how to talk.
There's worse ideas.
There's worse ideas. I love it. They will calm me down.
Y'all mad at each other? Try some of this. Still mad? No.
Right.
All right, cool.
Right. Bahamas, Barbados, all of them.
They're all like really relaxed
chill you out. They're
people.
going to chill you out.
Yeah, I don't see them doing a lot of policing. I see them going there and kind of hanging out.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on. You cool, right? It's, yeah.
Right. Instead of chlamydia, it'll be herpes.
Oh, Jesus. On that note, we're going to take a break. We're not going to Haiti anytime soon. Don't worry. We're safely here in the States. They can't hear us because they don't have electricity.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. That's not great. Yeah, also, if you are a UN soldier on your way to Haiti and you're listening, or anywhere, don't go transmitting diseases. That's not your job. Your job is to bring peace and love.
Right.
But not that kind of love.
Transmit peace.
Yeah, not the love.
Not
Not
that
kind of love.
Not that kind of peace.
Wrap it up. Those UN-issued lifestyles condoms. They don't feel great, but they work. You're gonna be fine. All right, we're gonna take a break. Trump looks like he's falling asleep on the camera there, so we gotta go wake him up. Make sure this debate continues to give us something to talk about next week. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond. Yeah.
They support grooming children. Even Joe Biden, the president himself, supports children being sexualized and having transgender surgeries. Sexualizing children is what pedophiles do to children.
MTG, Megas MVP. MTG, Megas MVP. MTG, Megas MVP. MTG, Megas MVP. Democrats get back. Boom. Reporters even get slapped. They spreading all these rumors because Marjorie be spitting big facts. Deep state in the left always hating. When they gonna let Joe about that basement? Marjorie, I really love what you do. Keep calling Ronalds out. No one does it better than you, huh? A real businesswoman. AOC's a featherweight. A Southern belle, a little hood. Watch her shake and bake. Divorce, that's all y'all gotta bring up. Yeah, watch her drain the swamp because she know they corrupt. She's fighting for our children. She's fighting for our freedom. She's fighting for the Jan 6. She's fighting good versus evil. MTG, Megas MVP. MTG, Megas MVP. MTG, Megas MVP. MTG, Megas MVP. She's a boss. She don't rock with trans Tifa cause they soft. Them liberal tears can't save you, wipe them off. You know we reppin' 45, he never lost. Watch a real Georgia Peach go and set it off.
But I think what upsets me the most, Vinny, is the fact that everyone in Washington has known about the Biden crimes for a very long time, and they've done nothing about it. But yet regular Americans, they go to jail if they don't pay their taxes. They go to jail if they walk in the Capitol escorted by Capitol Police like Jacob Chansley did.
She's a bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. She's a bleach blonde, bad
catch a case. Talk about a black woman's lash, she'll definitely whoop your ass. She better get her face right, cause she looks like a pack of Bud Light. Oh, yeah. Bad-built foot body. She's a bleach blonde, bad-built foot body. She's a bleach blonde, bad-built foot body. And she better not talk about nobody.
Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm your host, Chip. With me tonight is Patrick.
What's up, family?
That was our favorite song about MTG.
Oh, I
The
love it.
clapbacks from the clapbacks.
The clapbacks.
That's a clapback for your
You
ass.
gotta go get their record. It's available on Motown in 1967. If you are watching on the screen, you'll notice that I'm drinking the patriotic Budweiser beers because of the debate, and you know,
nice.
They're available now. I always get them when they come out because I don't like how somehow like being pro-flag waving American became weirdly right-wing.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm proud of this country for what
Absolutely.
it could be. I mean, you know, it's not always living up to it, but I'm not sure that they would think it's always living up to it.
Right.
They're really mad about that time it gave rights to people. You know, like
Right. Yeah.
were they waving flags in 1964? Probably not. Well, they were.
I was going to say you love your home.
I
You have
do.
the home that the home that you have, but there's certain rooms or certain things about your house that you would like to improve.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's all
Coat
it
of
is.
paint, you know,
Yeah,
maybe
a great coat of
totally
paint.
change the direction it's facing.
Right.
You
Kick
know,
a few people out.
Yeah. Oh. It's the barge. And I also want to mention that I've been on record for several weeks now saying that I didn't think Trump was going to show up for the debate because I didn't think there was any reason for him to do that. It turns out I was wrong.
Okay.
So everybody told me I was wrong. I told them they didn't know what they were talking about. Turns out maybe they did.
Okay.
So
you got to eat that.
Yeah, well, don't get too proud of yourselves, folks. I'm 0 for several hundred, but that's fine. All right, so now we've come to a part of the show. It's called Election Follow-Ups. So we've been sort of following this one particular race for a while, well, basically since the primary,
Okay.
which was on June 18th. So that was about 10 days ago.
Okay.
And my great Commonwealth, Virginia, you know, we had this vote. All of the other precincts or districts were settled except for this one.
Okay.
Which is the home of Representative Bob Good.
5th district.
5th district, yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is basically from Charlottesville east to Richmond.
Gotcha.
Okay, so it's a very central part of Virginia. It used to be represented by Denver Riggleman, who is a whiskey distiller and former defense guy, intelligence dude. And he was ousted from his position in the super conservative Republican world because he did a same-sex wedding for one of his staffers. He presided over the wedding. They're like, oh,
Really?
Denver Riggleman loves the gays.
Oh, wow.
So we got to vote him out.
Wow.
Yeah, and they replaced him with this guy called Bob Good.
And he's not pulling any punches.
He is the chair of the Freedom Caucus, which is the Tea Party guys.
Oh, they changed the name.
Well, they've always called themselves the Freedom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Freedom for certain people. So it's not like Bob Good isn't the most wackadoodle right-wing nut job you could imagine, right? He is everything that you expect. He wants to ban immigrants. He wants to, turn women into vessels, mandate that everybody prays 5 times a day facing Mecca. I mean, Jerusalem, I mean, Rome, whatever, one of those things. He's a white Christo-fascist, ethno-nationalist, as bad as you can get.
Okay.
But in the presidential primary, he briefly supported DeSantis because he thought DeSantis had a better chance of beating Biden than Trump. And for that heretical stance, he was cast out and labeled a traitor. So this other guy named John McGuire. Yeah, running against him. Currently, the race is still about 300 votes separating the two of them, or 400 votes maybe separating the two of them. McGuire is a little bit ahead by a tiny, tiny, tiny margin. Has not been called yet. Now, McGuire has claimed victory. Bob Good now said on Monday that his campaign would file a legal challenge, quote, to try to block certification of the Republican primary election in the 5th District.
I'll tell you, it's too close, obviously, to call in my book. I feel like I think that I hope, because I looked them both up.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't want Bob Good to.
I don't want either of them in Congress.
Either of them, but if I had a choice, I would rather take McGuire.
Because he's inexperienced and stupid?
Yes.
Yeah. So this looks like MAGA eating itself, but there is actually something more serious going on here, and I want everybody to pay attention to it. There was a story in the paper today about this, and even an editorial about this, sort of highlighting it. Republicans have embraced the big lie about the stolen election so drastically that they have started to send activists to take these jobs in election boards at county levels, precinct levels, in canvassing boards and all of this, where they're doing things like demanding to see records that they're not entitled to, and until they get them, they won't certify votes. They've tried this in Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, a bunch of places that matter.
Right.
They have been superseded by the state election officials in every instance or beaten in court. But what they're doing is they're testing whether they can get away with this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They seem to be the church of obstruction.
It's not just obstruction. It's supposed doubt. Okay, they're doing it in Fulton County, Georgia right now with a primary election. They're holding up the results. What Bob Good is doing right here is part of this.
Okay.
The idea here is you just sow mistrust of the election in any way, shape, or form. If your guy doesn't win, you say it's rigged. And you make some outlandish demands about getting information, and you don't get it because you're not entitled to it. You say that's an example of the system working against you and being rigged. And they're trying out this county level, low level, precinct level even, election denialism or election refusalism to not certify stuff and not do these things that are basically ceremonial. You don't really have to get everything. You're not entitled to see everything. Your job is to be one of the people who signs off on this after you count up all the ballots. They want to see things like how many people voted that day and how many people showed up and asked for a ballot that day. Theoretically, those two ought to match, but they might be off by one or two. It's kind of not a big deal, and it gets handled all the time. But they're saying because they don't get to see that list, they're not going to certify any of the results. In so doing, they're able to point and say, look, that county is fucked up. That county is fucked up. Therefore, the state is fucked up. Therefore, don't send the electors to Washington. And therefore, the election is all foobar.
And this is really cute because I see here that Good also complained on X or Twitter last week that there were fires in 3 precincts on Election Day. And he asks,
how could that possibly
what's the
happen?
probability? Does anyone recall even one fire happening at a precinct on Election Day? He didn't say that the voting
wasn't in the polling place.
Right.
It was just in that precinct.
A fire happened to occur at,
correct
in this particular
There's
district.
hundreds of precincts in the district.
It didn't stop anything.
No, not at all.
That's crazy.
But it's this weird correlation without
crazy.
a causation.
That is crazy.
But that is at the basis of so many of the conspiracies, right? There doesn't have to be any actual link between any of the things. You just go, hey, you ever notice you never see beautiful people at the DMV? What's up with that?
Right. There's a
They
conspiracy
have
there.
some secret way of getting licenses, except when I'm at the DMV.
Right.
Yeah, so this is funny, but it's also really troubling. I read the story in the paper this morning, and I was shaking. I was quite worried about this because it's the most visible example of the attempt to sow or to preempt. It's the preamble to the war.
Mm-hmm.
This
The
is
Civil War.
Yeah. This is the John Brown raid. You know, where like it's a low-level skirmish. It gets put down, it gets handled or whatever, but it portends something worse. They're trying it at the county levels at the primaries, and they're going to do it 100%. They're going to do it in the fall. Right. And we don't really have the wherewithal because enough people, even officials, screaming, this is not true, doesn't seem to have any effect.
Right, and they're not going to let you just wave it off. They're not going to let you.
You can't wave it off. And even when it was Republican officials in Georgia who recorded the president saying, I need you to find 11,781 votes, that didn't matter to any of them. They still attacked the Capitol. So we need to be very worried about this. Much more worried than people seem to be.
Absolutely.
Speaking of worried, Colorado. All right, Brian, now's your chance. So Brian's girlfriend, Bobo, she is unlikely to win in her current district that she represented, which is the 3rd district there in Colorado. So
No, it's the 4th.
Oh no, she's moved to the 4th.
Yeah. She was losing.
She was in the 3rd,
and then
she barely survived her election in the 3rd.
Right.
And then
she saw the writing on the wall.
Exactly.
Basically.
So she moved across the state entirely to the other side of the mountains, which is a big deal because Colorado basically is cut in half by the Rocky Mountains, right? There's the west slope and the east slope.
Okay.
And they have nothing in common with each other. They can't even see each other. There's fucking mountains in the way. So she moves to the other side of the mountains, partly because she got divorced and, you know, they have better theaters over there, I guess. Give my own bell for that. So she moved to the 4th district, and she ran in the primary there. This is Ken Buck's old district, and he quit. He quit Congress. He's like, this is bullshit. I'm a former prosecutor. I'm telling everybody how prosecutions work, and they don't listen to me. They keep saying that everything's rigged, and they're all a bunch of maggot idiots and blah, blah, blah. So Ken Nuck If You Buck left. He's like, I'm done. And now Bobo has captured the Republican nomination in that seat pretty handily, I would add. Nobody got close. Who are these people? Those are the people who ran against her there, Brian?
Yeah, they were like Jerry Sonnenberg and Deborah Flora. They were
Velma.
like,
Is that Velma?
yeah, it looked like more like a Daphne. So
she's
more like Daphne. Yeah,
right,
as she gets older.
Brian, between Bobo and Flora there, who do you prefer?
I wasn't really a Daphne fan.
Oh,
So
yeah. Okay.
I mean, Daphne was typical that.
A little
You know,
too
always
high.
Too high maintenance, and Fred can handle her, and that's why they keep going together every time.
Does
So
it keep going off with
yeah,
the
go
Friends
yeah,
roster
yeah.
together?
So Deborah, I mean, she's all right, but you got to go with the bow.
Staying
with the
yeah,
Bo.
The bow, okay.
Bo knows. So yeah, Bobo won, and so I guess Brian, you're moving to the 4th district. Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, if we can get over those Rockies. So
Pretty liberal
She's
area.
on our side of the Rockies now. She's on the eastern slope, so you don't have to climb as high.
yeah, that's true.
It's not that liberal an area. She's probably going to win there.
Colorado, I thought Colorado was
Well,
a liberal.
statewide,
Okay.
statewide they have a Jewish gay governor
Okay.
named Jared Polis, and they've got 2 Democratic senators.
Okay. But they still got some.
There are some very Republican congressional seats there in Colorado, or Colorado, as they say, because they're wrong. Square states don't know anything. Brian, I do wonder, like, hypothetically speaking,
Yes.
let's say Lauren Boebert called me and said, I would like, to hire your producer to be my personal, let's call him assistant. Yeah. So when I get back to Washington, I'm going to need him to report to the theater closest to the Capitol. Would you go knowing where she's been?
Where she's been. Yeah. Yo, that's funny. Yo.
And where she might be on January 6th next year.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, show it around the town. You know, I look. She's experienced. You know, in that realm, not the in the Capitol building. I know that for sure. So, but yeah.
Is being an insurrectionist a deal breaker for you?
Look, let's really fully be honest here. You know, she's not that bright.
No, clearly.
And it really, she's really into now gilf material now because her daughter.
She is a gilf.
She's a gilf.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because her 18-year-old son has yep,
Yeah.
and then I think she has a daughter too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who is she pregnant or about?
I think the last report I think she had her kid. So
Okay, there you go.
I can Google it later.
No, she's definitely a gilf.
Yeah, she's a gilf.
She's also 38.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know, so
I mean, yeah. So I mean, mind you,
Barely
I think
gilf.
yeah, she's barely legal gilf. Yo. Oh, good Lord. Going straight to hell for that.
That's a clip. All right.
So, no, I mean, look, neither of us are in a position to have an opinion on this. But let's say we're scrolling the apps, right? Hopefully Bumble that I have stock in, so please everybody sign up for Bumble. We're scrolling the apps. It's not doing well. And people are tired of apps. Scrolling the apps, and you're looking for, your future soulmate,
right?
/ hookup, and you're like, okay, she's looking good. There's, she's fishing on the pier with her friends. Oh, she looks nice in the sun in her sundress. And then you hit this one, and it's the MAGA hat with the riot going on behind her at the Capitol, and she's like, woo! Woo! Are you swiping right, or are you passing?
And this is Bober here we're talking about,
I'm not
or
saying
just right
Bober,
in there.
I'm
Oh,
saying
you anybody in general?
Yeah. Bober lookalike, let's say.
Bober lookalike. I think hopefully once we get past this, geriatric debacle that we're dealing with right now, I mean, we'll have to come back down from that and see people who they really are. Mind you, there's a conversation that need to be had. Like I said,
He's talking around his.
Yeah, he's talking around a lot.
Yeah, I'm talking around a lot.
Go ahead.
But
Just say yes, you're okay with it.
no, I wouldn't say I'm fully okay with. Mind you, but like I said, my dad was. He's not a MAGA. I know that. He was never that. He's just a Republican. But I think the MAGA deal, it's something to question. It really is something to question.
So you're gonna talk about it on Pillow Talk.
Yeah,
afterwards. Keep in mind, this if it's a straight up hookup. That's what a bubble is.
So Brian hooks up, reaches behind the pillow, pulls out her hood, and goes, "Oh, I'll call you tomorrow," and he leaves. It's fine. He's white. It'll be okay. All right. This one's called "So Tired of Winning." As you know, the Republican Party is defined by Donald Trump at this point. There's no policy to any of it.
It's crazy.
They just, what's your qualifications as a Republican? And so, I had this picture with Trump one time, and he, said I was great.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
You're electable then. And,
just some connection. Just need some sort of.
All you got to do is profess your love for one guy. It's weird, right?
It's not even what it was the 6 degrees. It's not even 6. It's 1 degree. Like,
yeah, you only got to like one person. Like if you're a Democrat and you're like, all right, I want to run as a Democrat and whatever, and people are like, well, what's your policy credential? Like we grilled, Essen Nasser here, and we were like, what are your policy questions? How do you feel about Roe v. Wade, or what would you do to increase access to healthcare or whatever?
Right.
In the Republican world, it's just like, do you love Trump? And they go, me love Trump. And they go, me love you. And then that's it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Stamped.
Okay. Funny enough, though, the Republican Party, all the Trump supported folks in this week's primary, they lost.
Yeah, that's
3 lost, including 2 by wide margins in South Carolina. Republican National Convention Speaker and pro-Trump pastor Mark Burns lost
Mr.
a primary
Burns.
runoff, to nurse practitioner Sherry Biggs.
Okay. Nurse Biggs.
Sorry, Smithers. I might also like to point out that Mark Burns, If you look at the image, he's a man of color.
Okay, all right.
So he went for that what you call it, Byron Donalds move, where you say the white supremacist thing, but you do it with the black face.
And it works a lot of the time.
It does.
It really does.
Nobody's doing blackface anymore. They're just getting a blackface to say it.
Exactly. It didn't work for him.
In Colorado, as they say, state Republican Party chairman Dave Williams lost by more than 30 points to some conservative activist, and this is a great name, named Jeff Crank.
I love that.
Yeah.
Jeff Crank.
He's just some
crank. Oh, he looks like
he
a
looks
Jeff
like
Crank.
a crank.
Jeff Crank.
Yeah. Dave Williams also looks like a Dave Williams.
He really does.
Straight out of Central Casting. Give me the blandest guy you've got. Well, we've got Dave Williams. Well, here he is.
Is he BIPOC? I can't tell.
I don't think so.
Okay, I can't tell. He's just tanned.
I think it's the beard.
Beards are kind of.
It is
right.
a trick, right? That those of us of a lighter complexion use to fool the rest of. Well, you're not really sure what my ethnicity is due to my beard.
Might be Latino. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be a lot of things. I've got a fade. How do you know? Yeah. It's passing in the other direction.
Right.
Perhaps most singing to Trump, his favorite candidate in Utah to replace retiring Senator Mitt Romney.
Oh, man. What? I miss Mitt.
He's not gone yet.
Okay.
You can still buy him a chocolate milk, but he just can't take it to the Senate floor because he got in trouble for that. Riverton Mayor Trent Staggs.
Trent Staggs.
If there is ever a Republican name,
it's a great name.
Trent Staggs.
Great names.
Yeah.
Trent Staggs.
Definitely saw him in one of those movies that Brian likes to bring home from Exotica. There aren't any women in those movies.
But Trent lost.
Trent lost. He lost to a more moderate guy named John Curtis by more than 20 points. He got absolutely trounced.
Okay.
So
what does this mean to you? Like the idea that these hard right Trump nutsack holders are losing.
One of the things that we've learned over the years in these elections, especially in midterms or sort of off year elections, is that the really extreme MAGA Republicans don't fare very well in these things. And Republicans could probably have super majorities in both houses and easily have won the presidency if they had run somebody who was not so nuts. Like they could run, a Marco Rubio and win 66% of the vote.
So
easily, everywhere.
Okay, all right. Let me throw this in, and you tell me what you think. Because in my mind, from what I've seen, these MAGA, sack holders aren't necessarily good politicians.
They're bad at it, and they often come with a lot of baggage. They somehow get caught in scandals. Shockingly, they're frequently stealing from each other.
Yeah. So I just don't think that they're good at it.
They're not. And look, as an overall, from politics is a sport, and I like to win. Like Trump is bad for the Republican brand because the way that the party has operated in a post-Trump world or in a current Trump world is that the only test to win a primary has to do with your loyalty to Trump. It doesn't have to do with your electability at all. So to win a primary, you have to be an absolute extremist. You can't be, even Bob Good is losing in a primary to somebody because he wasn't Trumpy enough.
Really? Okay.
But if they're up against a real competitive district, which many of them aren't, but if they're up against a real competitive district, whether it comes in Florida or statewide in several other states or whatever, they're unelectable. And you see this all the time, right? The Pennsylvania Senate race or Pennsylvania governor race. Mm-hmm. They had an election-denying nutcase who was there at January 6th. He got absolutely trounced. Even though the current governor, Josh Shapiro, he could have won. It was a competitive race, but he actually won by 15 points. It was a landslide. The Republicans continue to nominate people who are unelectable in contests that they could easily win. And we can't keep counting on that, though. Like, eventually they're going to learn. So we should beat them at the polls. Like, get out and vote, please. You know, the greatest example of this is Christine O'Donnell, I think that's her name, against Chris Coons in Delaware, where it was Coons' race to lose, and she got out. She won the primary by being a Tea Party crazy person, and then she had to spend her entire campaign arguing that she doesn't actually support witchcraft because she was a nutball, and he walks away with the win. I mean, it's just what?
That's absolutely nuts.
So they keep putting up these terrible candidates. It's about to happen in North Carolina. North Carolina governor race is up. It could be a very close race, but the Republicans have nominated the current North Carolina lieutenant governor, who is a black man named Mark Robinson,
I remember him.
Who is a way out white supremacist crazy person, and keeps saying all kinds of stuff like we should burn gay people at the stake or whatever, and like. North Carolina should be a Republican governor state, or at least it could be pretty easily. This guy is unelectable. He can't win like this. And thank God for it. But like also we can't be dependent on this.
Right, yeah, that's right. You don't want to depend on the other side's weakness.
Yeah, or ineptitude or whatever you want to call it.
Or their wild card status.
Yeah. They're idiots.
Because that's
we all
what
know
wild
that.
card is, right?
I like that CNN's sort of post-debate wrap-up is all black folks.
Yeah, just
actually, this is Roland Martin's.
Oh, it's Roland Martin. Okay,
it's the living room. It's the living room.
Okay,
this
is the Black Star Network version. Okay,
I was going to say.
I was impressed for a minute.
I said, wow, this is extremely relaxed. Like,
but
a sweatshirt.
CNN only had one black person, so we didn't.
Okay,
I need to see more variety. As a white man, I need to see more variety.
As the white guy on the show, Brian wanted to see a little more diversity.
Gotcha.
All right, let's go visit the Supreme Court.
Okay.
So there were like a million decisions that came down today. Also, what came down was that they're postponing some decisions till July 1st. Which is unprecedented. Not unprecedented. It doesn't happen very often.
Okay.
Supreme Court usually finishes its term in June. As you may know, we're running out of days in June.
Yeah.
But they're like, nah, we're going to do some stuff in July.
Okay.
Like the immunity case, probably.
Oh yeah. Well, they have to do that one, right?
It's got to go last. For all of their faults, the Supreme Court knows how to keep people in suspense and get attention. They definitely know that. So there was a decision that came down today about Idaho and allowing emergency abortions, except that the decision didn't come down today. It came down yesterday because somebody accidentally posted it to the website.
Was it accident?
We don't know. Bloomberg seen it, and then they took it down, but Bloomberg read it before they could take it down.
And they reported it.
Okay. So basically, at argument was the federal government has a rule that hospitals have to stabilize people who come in, even if they can't pay or even if there's whatever other circumstances, they can't just let them die on the steps. They got to stabilize. And sometimes that means you've got somebody who's got some sort of anomaly related to a pregnancy, and the only way to stabilize or save the life of the pregnant person is an abortion. Like an ectopic pregnancy, for example, which Republicans think will resolve itself somehow magically.
God, leave it up to God.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. So, just like the Israeli government. So, the standard of care in Idaho, since their total abortion ban, including for the health and safety of the mother, has been to put somebody in a helicopter and fly them to Colorado or wherever else, Utah, and get them treated there. Not a good answer. And so there was an argument about it. It gets up to the Supremes, and the Supremes basically said, this needs to get figured out in the lower courts, like in more depth. But in the meantime, stay. So if you are a pregnant person experiencing an emergency in Idaho right now, the doctors can do emergency procedures to save your life.
Right, they can't just leave you there. Right.
They But if the ruling had gone the other way, they would have to let you die. So, the party of life lost this one. Speaking of abortion, this whole section's called abortion, by the way.
Okay.
Texas. So, what do we love about Texas? I don't know.
What do I love? I love
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Beyonce.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Not a couple things. It's fine.
Some food. Yeah, in Austin.
Yeah.
I'm Austin.
Beto. Like Beto. Beto
Yeah.
O'Rourke. Yeah.
Okay.
He's Texan.
Yeah.
Willie Nelson.
Oh, gotta be Will Nelson.
Yeah. So, George Strait. There's a few good things from Texas.
A few.
But not a lot. So Texas, also one of the states that has banned abortion as much as possible. They also put in this weird bounty law where you can rat on people who you saw getting an abortion and get paid for it, and also put doctors and women in jail for doing that. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Crazy.
Texas, it's the Wild West. As long as there's not stairs. So, what? Greg Abbott rolled right into that one. You will be shocked to find out that since Texas's abortion ban for things like fetal abnormalities that could cause the baby to die and or the woman to die, childhood deaths are up.
Imagine
baby
that.
Deaths are up.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. So all of these kids who are gonna die of birth defects, who would have died of birth defects, they're dying of birth defects.
Right.
Known birth defects. So the situation in Texas is essentially you're pregnant, you go in, you get scanned, the doctor looks and goes, "Oh no." And you go, "What do you mean, oh no?" And they go, "Your baby is not going to survive at all. It's not going to survive when it's born. It's going to survive for a couple of minutes. It's going to survive for a day or two.
And then that's going to be it, right?
It's not going to survive. This is not a viable pregnancy because it is not going to produce a live baby."
Mm-hmm.
And you're 8 weeks in, 9 weeks in, we could perform an abortion. We can save you from having to go through all that pain and suffering, and we can preserve your fertility so that you might be able to have a baby in the future who might survive.
Right. But no.
In Texas, what the deal is, oh yeah, your baby's definitely going to die. I can't wait to see you on delivery day so I can deliver your baby that I'm going to know is going to die.
Right, or possibly stillborn. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they implemented this around 2021.
Yeah.
Right? So
well, that's when they put the first law in, and then after the defeat of Roe, then they were able to put all the rest of this in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Unfortunately, it's whack. It's so whack, but the idea of I don't want to say there's no bright side to this, but a lot of times folks won't act until they see statistics and quantifiable information. So we've gotten 2 to 3 years worth now.
Now we've seen a lot of dead babies.
Bodies. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So maybe that motivates voters in Texas.
Right.
Probably not. I mean, they weren't motivated by all the dead bodies in COVID or all the dead children in the school shootings in Uvalde. But whatever. Maybe dead babies. Dead kindergartners didn't motivate Texans.
Oh, my God. Yo.
But dead babies, maybe that will.
Wow.
Yeah, Texas, the party of life.
Man. Sheesh.
You want to go to the Texas of the East? Now it's time for Florida or not.
Florida or not?
Thanks, Dan. Okay, so don't look at the script.
I won't.
We'll let you play.
All right. I'm covering my eyes.
Yep. Okay, let's see. A woman repeatedly spiked her husband's Mountain Dew with Roundup weed killer.
Oh, shit.
Saying he did not show appreciation for the birthday party that she threw him, according to deputies. The husband told the county sheriff's deputies that he became, quote, afraid for his life when he made the startling discovery at their home, according to court documents. He first noticed in May that the 2-liter bottles of Diet Mountain Dew he kept in the garage refrigerator, quote, tasted weird, but he drank them anyway because, it's Diet Mountain Dew. How would you know? It might be fine.
How would you know?
The sheriff's office said, quote, after a couple of weeks, he started having symptoms of a sore throat, coughing, brown/yellow thick mucus, diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting.
Oh my God.
Authorities said that the probable cause statement, when he realized that the 2-liter bottles tasted different from a smaller bottle that he drank of, he reviewed video footage of his garage. Full stop. He's got cameras in his house. For what? Already. Do you have cameras in your house to watch your family?
I do not.
No, that would be weird. That's not good.
I do not.
You know, but okay. Reviewed video footage from his garage. The video showed his wife, 47-year-old Michelle Peters, take the soda bottles and Roundup bottle into the house.
Ooh, she looks real Florida.
Yeah, could be.
She looks real Florida.
They brought it into the house, and then, she'd mess around with them, and then she would put them back. She would conceal herself from the view of the camera, though, while she had the bottles.
She knew
So
about
there
the
was
cameras.
other spots in the house, apparently, that had cameras.
She knew about the cameras. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean, she was brought in for questioning on June 24th. She initially told deputies that she mixed Mountain Dew and Roundup, quote, to use as a weed killer that she saw on Pinterest. If you're on Pinterest, get off!
Nice answer.
Yeah, great answer.
Good answer.
According to the sheriff, she eventually admitted to purposefully spiking the drinks due to, quote, relationship issues that she was having with her husband. Court documents show. Michelle said that she was mad at her husband because she had thrown him a 50th birthday and he was not appreciative. So, heads up, if anybody gives you a party of any kind, tell them you love it. Even if you don't, you love it, all right? And don't drink Diet Mountain Dew.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So it turns out, Roundup's not good. You shouldn't drink that. She was charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action. I'm not sure what she was armed with, I guess. She pleaded not guilty, and is due in court on 2nd July.
Okay. All right, so that's very soon. All right.
Yeah.
So for me, Florida or not?
That's the question.
Oh, she looked really Florida, but I am going to say nah.
Okay.
I'm going to say nah, and I can tell you why.
Yeah.
Because I have family in Florida.
Yeah, you know.
Right. Yeah. So I'm basically from Florida, and the weed situation is pretty non-existent. That's number one.
They don't need a lot of Roundup.
They don't need a lot of Roundup. I mean, the most of the time.
Isn't Florida all weeds?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, either that or like the foliage is pretty much scorched.
Okay,
most of the time. You know what I mean?
It's either too hot or it's
right. So that's number one. Number two, most of the murders, or when somebody's trying to get rid of somebody, it's a lot more violent in Florida.
Yeah.
So for those two reasons, I'm saying nah.
Correct. That was in Missouri. Or Missouri, depending on where you're from. Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that. Way to go, Missouri. You're awful, too. Don't put Roundup in your husband's soda.
Yikes.
Yeah. Also, drink canned soda.
How about that? Or just, man, don't open up something that's already been opened. You know what I mean? Don't drink from anything that's already been opened. How about that?
Ever. Cans. Safe. Totally inert.
Wait, you want to hear that? Psh.
Yeah, if you don't hear the psh, don't drink it.
Don't drink it.
That's right. Or just drink really high-test alcohol because it'll kill everything that they put in it. You'll be safe.
That's what I'm doing.
Right. All right, let's get on to space stuff. Okay. ChipChat in space has become a recurring segment on this show here.
Okay.
This one comes to us from Florida.
Okay.
A Florida family is suing NASA after a piece of metallic space debris belonging to the agency fell to Earth and tore through their Naples home earlier this year, leaving a hole in their roof.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the March incident was a startling, rare instance of man-made material from orbit making its way back to the planet's surface intact.
Wow.
Normally it burns up, of course. And also a lot of it lands in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
But this time it landed in a populated area and it raises questions about who's responsible. Quote, space debris is a real and serious issue because of the increase in space traffic in recent years, said their family's attorney. My clients are seeking adequate compensation to account for the stress and impact that this event had on their lives.
You're right.
So there's a lot of space junk up there.
Absolutely. Oh,
just way more than you could possibly imagine. It's a cloud of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. and it's all falling out of the sky all the time. Now, most of it burns up, which is good, helpful, but, not good if it hits your house. Here's the image of it. Big chunk of stuff.
Okay.
I mean, it punched a pretty clean hole. That's pretty fixable.
Yeah, it's nice. Okay.
Look at how big it was, and look at how small it ended up. Condensed down as it burned,
Yikes.
I guess. I don't know. If a bit of space junk hit your house, are you suing NASA?
I'm suing the fuck out of NASA.
What if they have, qualified immunity like the cops?
They don't.
But they might. They were committing an official act. They were NASA-ing. They're like, their job is to chuck stuff up into space.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. But it's supposed to stay up there. It's not supposed
It's
to
supposed to stay up there.
It's supposed to stay up there. It's not supposed to hit me. So I'm going to sue. I'm definitely going to sue. I'm definitely going to sue. Have you seen, think they're
gonna
have you seen what
win?
black people do when they're in a car accident?
Yeah.
Even if it's a fender bender, they're going to fall out the car and be like,
oh, my neck.
Oh.
Like, you weren't even home when it hit. Yeah. But I had to look up at it when I got home and damaged my cervical vertebrae.
Yeah. So I'm going to sue.
Okay. I don't know if I would want to keep it, though. Like, it's cool. It's
it's
junk.
super cool. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. The nerd in me is going to want to keep it, but NASA's NASA. I'm going to try to get some money.
You think they got money? I think they're kind of broke.
No,
They're a government agency. They don't have any money.
They'll have money. You
Not
got
if government shuts down.
I guess, yeah. So what, would they have insurance?
I guess their homeowners insurance covered it, right? But it's Florida, so they might not have homeowners insurance. Because, no, that's a big thing, actually, that, Florida has no private insurance anymore. They all fled.
Right. You can't claim act. Well, no, you should be able to claim act of God because acts of God are no.
Is NASA God?
no.
Who's that? Do they have Geico? Who does your insurance go after? Hey, NASA, your shit hit our stuff. And they're going to be like, all right, we'll exchange information.
Yeah. You're right.
Jake from State Farm will show up
You're
and
right.
be like, look, my client was just, chucking satellites up into space. They didn't mean anything by it,
Look, there's going to be some mental distress. There's going to be some, it says here that their 19-year-old son was almost hit or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a near-miss situation.
You think Flo is into covering space damage? Is that like a thing? Can't wait for that progressive commercial.
Oh, man, I love it.
Liberty, liberty, liberty. Bam! NASA.
And Doug.
Right, yeah. I'm sorry, that was the Limu Emu. He was falling back from the space station. At your house. We're not paying for it.
Oh, man.
Speaking of space, this one's called Nobody's Boeing Anywhere. So Boeing and NASA announced Friday night that the capsule that's up there, the Starliner,
Okay.
yeah, it's not coming home for a long time. Not till July 20-something.
Okay.
Basically, here's what happened. They were supposed to go up there. I think we covered this. This is a follow-up, too. We covered this a couple weeks ago, that the capsule went up there with 2 astronauts and a urine pump because they needed a new pump for the space station because their other one broke, and they have to recycle their urine in space.
Okay. Into
Water.
Okay.
It's space, man. That's just how it works.
Shit.
All right, so they needed a new one, and they were like, "Look, astronauts, you're only going to be up there for a few days while you're proving this capsule works. We're going to take your clothes out of the cargo hold, and we're going to put this urine pump in." And they're like, "Yeah, that's fine, whatever. We're only going to be up there for a few days.
Okay.
Who needs a couple of sets of clothes? We'll be all right." So they got up there, and then they had all these helium leaks in the thrusters. They're like, "Oh, well, we can't go home yet until we fix all this." So they're like, "All right, well, you were supposed to leave on June 14th. We'll make you stay till the 18th." So they were like, "All right, cool. We'll stay till the 18th." And then they're like, "Oh, we still have some leaks." So they're like, "How about July 2nd?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, we can stay a whole extra month." And then they're like, "Yeah, it's probably not going to work. We still got leaks. How about the 26th So I believe they're slotted to come home July 26th. They're going to be up there for basically 2 months. The space station has enough like supplies to keep them safe and all that.
Yeah.
There's 9 people on the space station currently. It's designed really for 6. It can handle it, but it's
It's a
tight.
little stressful.
It's a little stressful, and ways to get home are dwindling.
Can I say? And you say, and they can't sue NASA either, right?
Well, that's right. Yeah, they're NASA astronauts. They're riding on a Boeing-built capsule called the Starliner.
Wow.
And that is 3 years late and several $1 billion over budget. That this was supposed to be the commercialization of space, and NASA was going to get out of the business of transporting humans.
Look, if you're over budget, there shouldn't be leaks. I don't want to hear about
Right.
helium. I don't want to hear about helium leaks when you are however many $1 billion over budget. This needs to be tight. I need it to be tight. I'm up there. I need it to be tight.
Yeah.
Right? So
Sonny and Butch want to come home. That's their names, by the way.
Sonny and Butch?
Yeah.
Oh, those are
Isn't that
kick-ass
great?
names. Kick-ass names.
Yeah.
That's a movie title,
Yeah,
right?
it's like
Sonny.
Butch Cassidy,
You're
except
right.
it's instead of Sundance, it's
Sonny
Sonny.
and
Yeah,
Butch
Sonny
in
and Butch.
space.
Like they couldn't be more like
Hobbs and Shaw.
swashbuckling. Yeah, there they are.
Okay.
Well, that's Butch and
That's
Sonny.
definitely Butch.
Yeah,
on the
Sonny's
left.
the lady on the right.
Okay.
So yeah, they like
Wow.
they're stuck.
That's
We want them to come home or at least come on our show.
no, yeah. Oh,
We'll send you a link. You can do it remote.
that would be dope. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do ChipChat from space. Well, they got plenty of time to kill while they're fixing the helium leaks.
Oh man, yeah, but for real, oh man, that's just.
Boeing has been doing okay lately, so they can probably weather one bad news story. As things go.
Man, they need to do more. They need to do more than that. I hate
Even
that.
NPR was dragging them the other day on Planet Money. They're like, here's 3 bad stories about Boeing. And they give the first one, about the door plug thing. And they're like, oh, well, that's pretty bad. What do you mean there's more? And they're like, oh, yeah, there's worse. And then, yeah.
Yeah. It's time for you to delay your adventures into space. If you can't keep the leaks from happening.
I'm surprised they weren't, when they had this opportunity to really forefront, because of course they're dealing with Amazon and Elon with their machines.
Elon stuff seems to be working currently.
Elon throws it up the air and let it see it explode.
Yeah, he doesn't go on into space.
No, actually,
I know.
SpaceX capsules are delivering supplies to the space station right now, and they have delivered humans 3 times to the space station.
Okay.
SpaceX is working in terms of that shuttling people back and forth to the space station.
Okay.
That's working.
Okay. SpaceX shuttles, huh?
Yeah, the Falcon rockets and all that's working. It's the Starship, that's the one that blew up, but they've had several launches since then that have worked fine.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I hate to give Elon any credit, but it's working currently. He's got it.
As long as it doesn't really fuck up, that's fine. I would love to, my dream is, thinking of the Fifth Element, traveling through space.
Right,
all that
space.
stuff.
I'll do anything to go to space.
I'm going to be listen, I'm going to be very, very old when I go into space. I can tell. I mean,
3 years ago.
You know what, bro, stop. Bro.
But no, I would do anything to go to space.
Yeah.
If they were like, oh, you got to, do X, Y, Z or whatever, you got to pay X number of dollars, I would do it. If they gave me the opportunity, I would do anything.
Yeah.
Anything to go to
I'm
space.
going to wait. I'm going to wait until they have a couple of mistakes.
I would take the chance.
There are going to be mistakes. All right. And I need the, the scientific.
I don't want to be
I don't want to be their experiment. I don't want to be
that I do not want to be involved in.
I don't want to be their experiment. I want it to be tried and true before I pay my money and get in there and go up.
I want to go. I don't care what it takes.
Too.
I'll take the risk. I'll do it. Like, you want to put me in a tin can on top of a missile?
Do
do it.
Would you go in 2026 or would you go
now
in 2024? Oh,
yesterday.
Okay. All right.
There's a way to get to space. I'll take it.
Okay. All right.
I if I die in the process, I don't care.
Hey, you are.
I want to go to space.
You want to be historic. That's the bottom line.
And if I blow up on the pad, I'll be like Gus Grissom and go down, in a
It's
ball
historic,
of glory.
right?
Yeah,
Okay,
everybody
I get
will
it. I
know.
get it.
I'll be a household name.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. I mean, listen. Like dying in a magnificent ball of flame is great.
Yeah.
But you're not sure that's how it is, though.
No.
You know what I mean? I just watched a video the other day, where a guy got trampled by a elephant.
Well, that's not good.
Yo, he got folded up. He got
I don't wanna
folded
go
up,
that way.
and so I don't know what it's like to be out there. You might get folded up out there too. So you might want to think about that.
Yeah, but think of the ratings. ChipChat would be off the chart.
ChipChat in space.
Yeah, come on. Who doesn't want to listen to that episode? And I die while I'm recording it? I mean, it's made for TV.
Oh my God.
I would do anything to go to space. And look, we didn't need this. We have other ways. It's working. We had a perfectly good space shuttle. I don't understand what the problem was.
Columbia, Challenger. That's
Okay,
it.
Challenger blew up on the way up. Columbia blew up on the way down. But now we had a way to check it when it got up there and look at it on the space
It's
station.
keep in mind that the space shuttle system, I think, ran its course even after, Atlantis went up there. So, and even in Endeavor, I really felt like they needed
space shuttle.
Yeah, I do too. But I felt like it's time to get a new look, a new version of it. I'm surprised.
Well,
unfortunately,
we went back in time to capsules that don't fucking work.
I get that.
Not great.
You got to start somewhere. But I know full well, like, even with Boeing, I know there's some designs of actual looking space shuttles and things like that out there. But again, this is a process.
The Russians have been flying the Soyuz since we were flying Apollo, right? There was the Apollo-Soyuz docking that took place in the early 70s. They're still using that Soyuz. The lifeboat home from the space station is a Soyuz capsule. So there's don't fix it if it ain't broke kind of thing.
Theirs didn't break.
Yeah, theirs works for the most part.
Ours broke.
Well, we could have been using Apollo shit. Like, that worked pretty good. We went to the moon a bunch of times. Nobody else has done that.
Did we, though?
Yeah, we did. Also, speaking of the moon, the Chinese grabbed some stuff from the dark side of the moon, and it's on its way back now. Some actual rocks and stuff, and they're willing to share it with the scientists and stuff. So we're going to learn a whole lot more about the moon in the next couple of years.
That's dope.
It's very cool. Shout out to
Space 1999 is coming.
They actually managed to get that to work. All right, this last one is called "No News is Good News." You may have noticed that the your main news source, MTV News archives, have disappeared.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's not just that. All the old Daily Show episodes, all of Paramount's properties, basically, they took it down.
So it was a Paramount thing.
Yeah. So you can't get BET News, you can't get CMT archives, you can't get the Comedy Central stuff, all of that stuff. They took it all down.
They're about to go and send it all to Paramount Plus.
That's exactly what's happening.
I knew it. Yeah, they're going to get.
I don't think so.
Okay,
they want the
other
money.
People have lost their minds over this. Like, how do they take it? These are legitimate news archives of important stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
Could be a lot of things that maybe people think are not that important, but if you're researching pop culture or something like that, you definitely want to know.
Absolutely, yeah. This just in: Tupac Shakur has been shot. Right, all that stuff. Right,
that kind of thing matters.
Right.
Or album sales in such and such a year or whatever. Like you want to track that, right? So without these archives, it adds yet another level of complexity. I'm with you. I think they're just they took it down and put it behind a paywall, or they're gonna put it. It's not like it was hard to store all this stuff. Data storage is basically free.
So then the question would be is why not just leave it alone? Because
if it's up there and people can access it for free, you can't make any money off of it. But if you take it down and you put it behind a paywall, and I would point out, if you are the owner, let's say Paramount, of a large data set of language and information that people want, you can license that to the AI and get a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
So what they're probably doing is taking down all this stuff to make it so everybody else can't get at it, and then they're going to let ChatGPT pay them to scrape it, or they're going to let OpenAI pay to scrape it, or whatever. Watson X, they're going to scrape it. Yeah. All of these guys, they're going to let each one of them have a go at scraping it for their own large language model and get money hand over fist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe it. You remember Arsenio Hall show? Remember that?
Yeah.
So, the 90s, right? Now, that was when I was in my bag, right? You know what I mean? But, like, you can't find an Arsenio Hall show in its complete, like, in the entire show anywhere. They're hoarding that shit.
They're waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because that was a cultural moment. That was a touchstone moment in history. Not just like black history, American history.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So like I can see what you're saying. You know what I mean?
What it reminds me of is when they took like a bunch of the South Park stuff offline and then it was only available on DVD and then everybody cried about it and then they put it back online. And like it's or the Disney Vault. The Disney Vault, right? Oh, well, we're taking this movie, we're putting it in the vault. You're never going to be able to buy this VHS again. You know, and then 15 years later, they put it back out. Oh, for the first time in the light of day, The Little Mermaid, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
you know,
right. You just need to just hoard it for a little while.
False scarcity.
Cradle it like it's, you know, the last lit match.
Make people
you know what I mean?
want
Make them want and then be like,
yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I would pay for it.
It's a money grab.
I get it.
Come on,
I get
Paramount.
it. I get it. Come on. Yeah,
So
right.
transparent.
We see you.
We know
see
that.
you.
We'll come work for you, though. 100%. Look, Colbert needs a night off. Call us.
Are you kidding me?
We're there.
Shit.
I mean, I'm almost as funny as him. Plus, my ears are symmetrical. All right. Speaking of Paramount, that means we've come to the end of the show before they cancel us. We're nearly on time, which is unprecedented in ChipChat history.
We're still in Thursday. Let's put it that way.
We're still in Thursday. That's right.
Yeah.
That means we're on time. Whoa. All right. Thank you, Patrick, for being an amazing co-host.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
We appreciate that. We definitely have to get you a jacket or something now that you're like a real, five-timer. Like,
Word up. Yeah.
you're like you're a part of the crew.
Yeah, make it out of Tez skin.
No. That's creepy and awful. Sorry, Tez. You thought you were on vacation.
I think Hannibal 2 has come out.
Yeah. The late, great Hannibal Lecter. A lot of people are talking about him. I like that he calls him the late, great Hannibal Lecter, like he was ever real.
Or ever great.
Or, yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Anyway, thank you to our radio partners, MTV News, BET News, that's with the Z, and CMT News. Yeah! Thanks to our home on the interwebs, coplaymedia.com, and thanks, as always, to our family here at Beltway Radio for making it sound as smooth as Trump's debate performance tonight. All right, where can everybody get you on the social medias?
Oh, man, follow me at Black Picasso's Gallery. All one word, no spaces. Black Picasso's Gallery.
That's everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
IG, the Twitters, all the things.
All of that.
All right, you can find me and the show on Twitter at ChipChatRR. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram at RipChipChat. And you can, of course, find us every Thursday night, most Thursday nights, here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm Chip. That's Patrick. That's Brian. You've been listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond. News.
Subject. If we get famous, we can give a shout out to Brian. To get us out on time is what he be trying. The show is like a custom feathered avian that knows words. How can we stay late when our guest is Illy Bird? In conclusion, the message is to go out and serve folks, whether that's through art, music, or if you just tell jokes. Seek to medicate your ears, hope you eradicate your fears. Thanks for sticking with us through all these years.